America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing.
Would you please bow your head? Dear Lord, we thank you for bringing us here tonight. We ask that you watch over this great city of Newman. We ask that you give us the strength and the wisdom to do the right things for this great city. We also ask you to bless the new council members that are going to be coming aboard on this council. And this we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Bob. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Davis.
Present.
Hutchins. Candia.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Martinez.
Present.
Mayor Caton.
Present, thank you. Item 5, report on canvass of vote. A, adopt resolution 2014 next to number declaring the results of the municipal election held on November 4, 2014. Michael?
Thank you, Mayor. As you know, on Tuesday, November 4th of 2014, we had a consolidated municipal election. There were 2 council seats that were open. 3 candidates ran for those 2 seats. We also have the mayoral position available. Mayor Caton was unchallenged on that. And then we also had Measure Z, which is an urban growth boundary measure that we put to a vote of the people, and we have the results on that. So I'm proud to say tonight, for the mayoral position, Mr. Ed Caton will remain mayor. He got 1,084 votes. For the 2 council member seats, they take the 2 largest vote getters. In this particular case, council member Nicholas Candia will be reseated, and then the top voter getter for the vote of this year was a new gentleman named Casey Graham, and he'll be sworn in tonight to do a 4-year term on the city council. And then with respect to Measure Z, shall the ordinance amending the City of Newman General Plan to create an urban growth boundary, that was adopted with an affirmative vote of 896 votes in the affirmative and 451 votes against. So the City of Newman will now have an urban growth boundary around the perimeter of our community that matches up with our general plan. So with that, we're just asking the council to go ahead and adopt the resolution as such.
Council action?
I so move that we adopt resolution number 2014 next number declaring the results of the municipal election held on November 4th, 2014. Second, oath of office to newly elected council members.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 4-0 with Councilmember Hutchins absent. Okay, go to item B, oath of office to newly elected council members. And I believe our city attorney will take this.
Thank you, Mayor. If I can please have the mayor and Councilmember Candia and our newly elected council member please step forward here so you take the oath of office.
Casey, go ahead and come on up. You want to do it here? It's too late.
Yes, yeah. Okay. You'll please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I
I, Ed Caton.
Candia. Casey Graham.
do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California.
that I take this obligation freely
I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any reservation or purpose of evasion.
and that I will well and faithfully
I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter. All right. Got the minor details out of the way.
Where's the cookies and milk?
Yeah, right?
They're in the back. We can do them after if you like.
That's fine. No, I just welcome, Casey.
Thank you.
And congratulations, Nick. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'd like to thank Councilman Hutchins for his 4 years of service to the city of Newman. And tonight, he couldn't make it. He emailed me, I think the rest of us as well. He's now a girls basketball coach in Patterson, so he's got a game tonight, so he regretfully could not attend. But sends his congratulations to both Casey and Nick and myself, so I appreciate that. So thanks, Councilman Hutchins. And we'll do a presentation of some sort for him, I think, at another time, as soon as we can. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, item 6, declaration of conflicts of interest, and I don't think we have any this evening. Item 7, ceremonial matters. We don't have anything in addition to what we just did. Go to item 8, items from the public, non-agenda item. Any member of the public wish to address the council, please step to the agenda or to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Hello, Barbara.
Good evening. My name is Barbara Powell. I live at 2043 Patrick Drive. And I have a couple of comments to make. We've been gone for about 6 months. And we're back in town now, causing troubles. But no, not really. In the years past, since retirement, Tom and I have taken off on a yearly basis, many months of the year, traveling in an RV. Something happened within the city of Newman about 2 years ago. When we left Newman, we went to the city and told them that we would be gone. And then when we returned, we would let them know. The city of Newman, you passed a new bill. And that bill had something that bothered me very much, but it was a transaction that the city made. And about the same time, the Postal Service made new bills that changed things there. While we were gone on our trips, we got a bill for only the water because we had it turned on for our land. But we never had to pay sewer or garbage. With the bill you all decided was correct, now when people from Newman leave for more than a month, the bill comes from the city of Newman, and you have to pay your water, your sewer, and your garbage, whether it's used or not. Of course, when we're gone, we have to pay now sewer and garbage. That's a new bill. Well, we didn't call Benny left this time. 2 months later, I got a call from the city. They were canceling everything at our house because I didn't pay a bill. Now that deals where the problem lies with the Postal Service too. This year, we could not have our mail just sent to us on a weekly basis. It costs $17 a package for the post office to mail us our mail. So I put in a forwarding. It took 2 weeks before any mail got to us in Oregon at all. And it took 2 months before the city called us and told us that we were having everything turned off because we did not pay our bill. And we didn't pay our bill because we didn't receive anything. I told them what our address was in Oregon, which it has been that way for quite a few years. And so the city has sent us bills after that to Oregon, and we do receive them. But in checking other businesses that we deal with, they had many of their mailing to us returned as unknown. And this was areas that we had to check with. I called a whole list of people, giving them our Oregon address so we wouldn't have to worry about mail not being received. And of course, it was a very upsetting months for us. We were gone 6 months. But now what I wanted to tell the council, we're going to we're going to figure out our tax accounts because it's going to be the end of the year. And Tom and I are going to set down on our tax account that we have paid and we have donated to the city of Newman $353 for what was charged to us on items that were not used at our house for 6 months. Thank you.
Thanks, Barbara. I would encourage you to talk with our staff. And Michael, I don't know what, just in terms of when people are gone long distance of time, i.e. 6 months, I don't know if there's a trigger or something that can be done just in.
The way our current ordinance reads, there is not.
Okay.
If you'd like staff to evaluate that and report back to you, we can look at some kind of threshold or trigger. Right now, it's even on a vacant house that's in between tenants, there are still charges, and that's the way our current ordinance reads. We're only following the ordinances that are currently passed. So if you'd like us to evaluate that, I can work with our finance department and possibly evaluate how other communities do it, and then report back to you.
I think we ought to take a look at it, just for someone who's gone, 6 months out of the year, and virtually no services being used at their residence. I guess for lack of better terms, might be a little bit ticked off too if I got a bill for $300, and I know what possibly could. I know there's base charges in place. I get that, and it just seems to me, and maybe we should have thought about that more in detail when we changed the ordinance, and just in terms of someone's gone that long. I don't know. I don't know how everybody else feels about it.
Yeah, I would agree that it should be reviewed. The thing that concerns me is that I don't think it's ever happened to us before, Barbara, so it,
Well, no, because
we've never, yeah,
last year, there was no problem,
yeah,
because we didn't have to pay anything but water
yeah,
for 20 years now.
yeah.
Last year, I didn't do anything about it because we had our 125th celebration.
Yeah.
We didn't get to leave Newman until June, and we were back in 3 months.
Well,
This time is 6 months.
yeah, maybe staff can just look at it and see, if there's something that we can do, just especially for those people who are gone long periods of time, and it's a long time to be away from home, not only worrying about your property while you're gone, whether you have somebody taking care of it for you or whatever, but you're accruing bills for sewer that you're not using, for garbage you're not using. I don't know if there's some way we can put something in place when somebody's gone long term that it can be prorated. I don't know. If we could just look at it, I think it'd be fair to our residents to do that.
In January, we'll bring back an informational item that talks about this particular issue and give you the historical perspective and why we believe councils did that in the past, made the ordinances that way, and then we'll provide you some options on how to move
Okay.
forward if you
That's
like.
fair enough. Thank you.
That'd be great.
Appreciate it. Okay, we'll go to item 9, consent calendar. A is waive all readings of ordinances and resolutions set by title. B is approval of the warrants. C is approval of the minutes of the November 18, 2014 meeting. Council direction.
I'll make a motion, we approve the consent calendar as is.
I second that motion.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item 10, public hearings. We don't have any this evening. Go to item 11, regular business. A is adopt resolution 2014, next in number, a resolution receiving and accepting the general purpose financial statement and Transportation Development Act audits for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2014. Luke?
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Before you tonight is a resolution to receive and accept the general purpose financial statement and Transportation Development Act audits for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2014. City staff started providing information to the auditors back in May of this year, just prior to the end of the fiscal year, and continued providing all requested reports and documents for several months while the auditors tested our data. The auditors also visited our office on 2 different occasions for a total of 3 days for on-site testing and staff interviews. The accounting firm of Clennon & Bird and Company has been conducting the audit. Michelle Gallagher, CPA and partner at Clendon and Burden Company, is here to present the report. Michelle?
Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you. Again, I'm Michelle Gallagher. I am the lead auditor and a partner at the firm. We again conducted your fiscal year ending June 30, 2014 audit. And again, it was a pretty smooth audit. Like Lou said, we were here for only 3 days, which is a short amount of time, but considering the amount of work that we can get done ahead of time, we don't have to be here as long and bother the staff. So that was good. There were no major adjustments going forward. There are a few minor adjustments, but that are standard, that we have to wait for information to be able to reconcile some information. The opinion that we provide on our report is unqualified once again this year. There's also no findings or recommendations on your internal control letter and your Transportation Development Act letter. I do want to point out a few revisions or additions to the financial statements this year. They're pretty standard pretty much every single year. This year that was new was that the long-range plan for your redevelopment agency was finalized. So some of the assets that were originally transferred out when the whole RDA situation dissolved were moved back into the city as city assets. That came out to about $1.9 million worth of assets that have been moved back into the city. The other, which I just want to point out, is on page 58. There's a detail of what kind of assets were in their land, streets, roads. Pretty standard stuff, but we were able to reconcile all that out. And if the council has any questions, there was pretty much no other changes in the financial statements.
Any questions or comments for Michelle? Okay, seeing none, council direction.
I move to adopt resolution number 214, 2014, a resolution receiving and accepting the general purpose financial statement and Transportation Development Act audits for the fiscal year ending in June 30th, 2014.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I second that motion.
There's a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Michelle, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Lou. Item B is adopt resolution 2014, next to number, a resolution approving an application submittal for 2014 water energy grant to the California Department of Water Resources and authorize the city manager or his designee to execute all grant documents, applications, agreements, and amendments associated with grant projects. Kassoum?
Good evening, City Mayor and City Council members. 2014 Water Energy Grant Program is to fund residential and commercial water efficiency project that reduce greenhouse gas emissions and also reduce water and energy use. So grant application procedure require an applicant's governing body declare by resolution certain authorizations related to the grant applications. Once the resolution has been approved, the city will be eligible to apply for the grant funding for the several projects. There are three projects we are looking for at this point with the grant. Newman Smart Water Meter Project, which is going to replace the existing water meters with the smart meters. The second project is non-potable water well installation project for Sherman Park. For example, we are using the potable water to irrigate the Sherman Park. However, we can implement the shallow well, which doesn't require any treatment, but high standard for the potable water. So that's kind of the project we are looking for. And another project is high efficiency toilet rebate program and low impact development planning project. So the grant application is 100% funding, so it does not require any local match. As such, it is recommended that the Newman City Council approve application submitted for 2014 water energy grant to the DWR, as well as authorize the city manager or designee to execute all grant-related documents. I'm happy to answer to any question you may have.
Any questions or comments for Kassoum? Seeing none, council direction.
I'll make a motion we adopt resolution 2014 next number, a resolution approving an application submittal for 2014 water energy grant to the California Department of Water Resources and authorizing the city manager or designee to execute all grant documents, applications, agreements, and amendments associated with grant projects.
I second that motion.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Item C, adopt resolution number 2014, next in number, a resolution updating the rental fees for the Louis J. Newman Memorial Center. Luke?
Almost didn't get out of the chair fast enough there. Good evening, Mayor and council members. Again, the resolution before you tonight to update the rental fees for the Louis J. Newman Memorial Center came about due to two events. After reviewing the last 6 years of rental revenues and expenditures directly related to the maintenance and operation of the center, it's been determined that the rental revenues are insufficient to cover the basic operations of the facility. Secondly, with the recent cost of renovation, we felt it prudent to begin collecting funds for the future. If we begin now, it will have a smaller impact on the rental rate we would need to charge to cover such future costs, and it would have a smaller impact on our general fund down the road. The current rental rate of $350 for a single day was last set in March of 2007. During last year, we rented the facility 56 times, a little over once a week. We don't have any additional weekends to rent the facility to significantly add to our revenues. We've compared the rate to other local facilities, and this rate will continue to be the best deal in town. Any of the residents that have already got current reservations with us, we would keep those and honor those at the same rate that they originally quoted. And also, one other thing we wanted to mention was that on the 3-day rates or the weekend rates, those would start, the rental time would start on Friday at 6 o'clock p.m. We'll go through Sunday. Be happy to answer any questions you may have on this.
So 6 o'clock Friday to Sunday, what time?
I believe it's midnight.
Okay. Any questions or comments for Luke?
My only concern that I had when I read over this was, do you guys believe that people rent it less based on the increased prices?
You know, I don't think so. In looking at, for example, the city of Patterson, we looked at their Hammond Senior Center. It's a smaller facility. The rate to get the same number or same space that we have would end up costing them more if they rented over there. We also looked at the FDS Hall, which is a larger facility. But if you use the smaller areas, our deal is still better because they get it for $750 for 2 days. We had a lot of residents last year that requested, or my staff told me we requested, for 2 days. They'd like to go in and have the event on Saturday, and instead of having to clean up at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, they like to have that next day to be able to go back and clean up. The other problem we have, too, is that our staff has had to spend a lot of time on those cases where it was rented for Saturday and Sunday, getting in there early, getting the facility cleaned up in the times where they weren't cleaned. But by doing this, it gives our residents a little bit more time to clean the facility. It would probably save our staff some overtime having to go out there and get it fixed up. And it's still, a pretty good deal, $750 for 2 days. Or if they wanted to have a 3-day event, which would be a major event, they could do it for $900, which I don't think they'd be able to meet that deal anywhere.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Ed,
Yes.
on renting that hall for $750 for a weekend, on top of that, you still have to get liability insurance, which is no cheaper than $500. I think I quoted it a few years ago for one night, and it was $750 locally to do an insurance here. So on top of that, that's $1,500 almost for a weekend. Would there be any way that you can combine liability into that or something?
I would have to leave that up to staff.
It's not easy to get liability insurance.
Yeah, the cost of insurance is not something we mark up. It's whatever the insurance company decides to charge for the particular event. I think we have 1 or 2 different locations, and plus you also have the option of securing your own through directly through the insurance agencies. There isn't really anything that we can negotiate with them to get a reduced rate. We could try and talk to them, see if it would, make a difference.
Oh, I meant like combine the price of the liability in with the price instead of $750, hike it up, because we pay Women's Club, Historical Society, we both at the cheapest is $500 we have to pay a year.
Right. Now, in your case, I believe you guys rent the facility during the week. If you had use it during the week, on those cases, for any rentals that are during the week, it's a lot lower rate. It's only $125 for the day. It's mostly on the weekends that we're concerned with, since that's our biggest demand time. We could bundle them together. The only problem is that there would be some people that would come in that might have a better deal through their own personal insurance. In that case, we'd have to unbundle it. So by keeping them separate and making both options available, it gives our residents the opportunity to pick and choose which they would need.
Well, years ago, homeowners would pick it up, I think, for a little bit extra. They will not do that anymore.
Oh.
Okay, any questions or other comments? Council direction. Somebody?
I so move we adopt resolution number 2014, next number, a resolution updating the rental fee for the Louis J. Newman Memorial Center.
I'll second the motion.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Thank you. And thanks for your comments, Mary. Okay, item D is City Council reorganization, selection of Mayor Pro Tem and committee assignments. Michael, you want to start it?
Mayor, this is just, again, there's a number of committees that the city council members sit on. Some are countywide, some are community-wide. Some are already predetermined, because the mayor is selected by bylaws of that particular committee or organization. So with that, generally, Mayor, you have just kind of led a discussion to see who's interested in serving on what committees at this particular point in time.
As Michael said, there's several that I sit on just by virtue of the office, and there's a couple of others that I elect to sit on. Typically, a lot of these are appointed, but I like to ask each council member if there's anything particular that you're interested in. In case I have a couple that I'd like for you to sit on, particularly the public safety committees and the countywide disaster committee, which you and I can talk about that, but so I've already kind of penciled you in on the public safety committee.
Yeah, I'd like this one.
And the countywide disaster council were, I'd like to have you as my alternate to attend those meetings. And a lot of these meetings they don't meet very often, and we get noticed, but I'll work with you on that. So we'll start at the top, Mayor Pro Tem, and as I've done in the past, Bob is our senior council member, and I'd like for Bob Martina to continue as Mayor Pro Tem, if you'll accept that.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And Stan Cog, I'm the sitting seat voting member, and if someone would be interested in the alternate to attend those meetings in my absence, and I try to make all of them if I can, but sometimes I can't make them. So if anybody's interested in learning more about Stan Cog and being an alternate, I would take a volunteer. No volunteers, I'll appoint somebody.
I'll do it.
Okay, Councilmember Candia. Okay, the Alliance also is I think by virtue of my office, typically I'm on that board. However, in the past, I've appointed somebody, I think last year, I think I had Councilmember Hutchins, yeah, as the alternate to attend the Alliance meetings. And I think now we have a new director at the Alliance. Maybe they're meeting more often, Michael, I think.
They have just,
Yeah.
but not the board necessarily.
Yeah.
There were a few to get the budget passed and the
Yeah.
audits passed.
So if someone's interested in sitting on the Alliance, there's a brief description of what that is. If somebody would like to sit on that, speak up. Otherwise, I'll appoint somebody. Or we can draw straws.
Well, Mayor, I'd love to, but that Monday is a bad day for me.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
work.
And I realize, yeah, a lot of these meetings, they meet that particular one is a quarterly meeting.
See, the problem with a lot of these meetings is that
Right.
it's difficult for people that do
Right.
work.
Yeah, see,
And so they really,
It is difficult.
I couldn't do 12 o'clock downtown, so.
Monday's difficult for me also.
I could serve as the alternate.
Thanks, Michael.
he's got nothing but time.
I appreciate you stepping up. Okay, we'll go to the City Selection Committee in LAFCO. City Selection Committee, I think by virtue of my office, I'm the designee for that. And obviously, item 5 is the Mayor's Committee, and so that's me. Number
Mayor, Mayor, just briefly, on the LAFCO, there's a City Selection Committee, correct, but there's also members of this council individually could potentially be on the LAFCO board, correct? As Councilmember Hutchins did last time?
Exactly.
I would be interested in
Would
that
you?
if it opens
Great.
up.
You're it. You're it. I'd actually had written myself a note because I know Don was on that committee, so. All right, so now we'll go to 6 is the League of California Cities. And I think Don was the first and the city manager was the alternate. If somebody would be interested in getting more involved with the league, representing the city of Newman on the California League City Executive Committee.
Councilmember Hutchins is actually the past president of the
Right.
division chapter, so.
Everybody speak up at once.
Well, some of these, they don't give times or anything, so it's really hard
Yeah,
to
on
know.
the executive committee typically meets in the evening.
Yeah.
I could handle
And
that.
it's usually a dinner meeting, too.
Huh?
They have both dinner meetings and then they have.
Drinks and food and stuff.
I'm not old enough to drink.
So would you like to do that?
Yeah, I would be more than happy.
Sweet. All right.
Yeah.
Who would like to be the alternate?
I'll be the alternate.
Thanks.
We can go together.
Yeah.
There you go.
We
And,
can drink together, too.
You've done that before.
All right. In the school liaison, in the past, it was
I'd like,
Bob and Don, and Roberta was the alternate.
I'd love to continue on that.
So would you like to do that, Casey? Great. So Bob and Casey, if you guys will tag team them. Someone like to be alternate? Nick, you want to be alternate on that?
Sure.
Great.
I get roped into this.
Don't worry
Because
about
you're
it.
good. Okay. The Infrastructure Committee was formerly the Wastewater Task Force. Roberta was the first and Nick was the alternate. I don't know, Roberta, did you ever go?
I'll take that.
Okay, great. Nick, will you want to continue?
Okay, I can be the alternate.
Thank you. All righty. The EDAC, Economic Development Action Committee, is they usually meet 3 or 4 times a year. It's a Thursday at 4 in the afternoon. And city manager was our designee, and Nick, you were the alternate. Michael, would you continue?
Sure.
He's got nothing to do.
I like the way you volunteered.
Only because you have a great understanding of that, so. You do a great job with that, so. All right, moving right along. The Crow's Landing Airfield, West Side Economic Development. I don't know, do they still meet?
It's not an active committee, but I think with the county moving forward with an air base, maybe there's some potential at least to have a council member involved in some of those discussions, so when they have West Side meetings, they can go and represent the council at those particular meetings. So
Yeah, and I think it's important because, probably there's going to be some activity starting out there, right, Jim?
I'll take,
Yeah. Yeah, so it'd be important to make sure that we do have a council representative
I'll take
there.
that.
Okay. All right. And who would like to be the alternate? Thanks, Casey.
Oh, no problem.
Did you want?
Fine, you're fine.
Did you want to do it?
No, I'll
that's
take
all right. Go ahead.
I thought I heard Casey speak up.
Me too.
I was
Wait
thinking
from
about
over
it.
here.
Tosca, I sit on the executive board as a Tosca board member, and I had Don appointed as the council representative. Unless somebody's interested in learning more about Tosca and being, I can be the representative. If you attend Tosca, there's a good chance you might even get appointed to the board. But we're always looking for members. But I will sit since I'm there anyway. They're Mondays, it's the second Monday of the month at 5:30. So if somebody wants to sit on that committee, you're more welcome to. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and sit on it since I'm already there.
That's a good idea.
Good idea.
Okay, all right. I thought so. And item 12, the Solid Waste Task Force, and Cassoon Perfecto, I want you guys to sit on that,
Yeah.
okay?
I sat on one of those and I said, huh?
Yeah, I obviously, I think we need to have our Public Works sitting on that. I'm not sure, do we have a chamber?
I don't know. I'll stay on it. I was on it last year, last couple of years, so I'll stay on it if they meet, if they
Okay.
decide to meet again, so.
So we'll put, Bob, you want to stay on it as well?
Sure.
Okay. On the West Side Theater Liaison, I was on it for a while, then I asked Don to sit on. I'm not sure if he's able to make any meetings. They meet on the, is it the second Wednesday?
This is second Thursday.
Second Thursday, okay.
At 6:30.
So if anybody is interested in being a liaison for the council on that committee, they meet, and you learn more about the theater and about the board and what's going on over there. We need,
I'd be willing to do it.
okay,
I've been
Bob.
on it before.
Okay. Anybody interested in being the alternate?
I will. I'll be
Great.
an alternate.
Appreciate you guys stepping up. And then 15 is the Public Safety Committee, and Casey, I'd like to have you sit on that, and I'll be the alternate. And then the
Mayor,
chief, yes.
we'd like the Public Safety Committee to be 2 members.
Didn't I say Graham and myself?
I thought you said you were going to be the alternate.
I did say that.
Okay.
Nice catch. Okay.
It's been recorded.
Okay. And Chief, what do I have you attend? Is that the one I have you attend in my place a lot of times?
No, Regional 911.
Yeah. We don't worry about that anymore, right?
I'm not sure. I'm guessing no.
No, in the contract I'm reviewing, we're entitled to a liaison.
Oh. Good luck with that. Okay. So the Countywide Disaster Council, and thank God we don't have to meet too often, is myself and Hutchins were on that. So Casey, I penciled you in with me on that as well. And then on the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District Special City Selection Committee, again, it was Hutchins and myself. I don't know why we're on the air pollution control. Is that designee that we have to have?
I think you guys get together and pick one person from the county to be a representative, Mayor, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. They meet on 6 o'clock on the last Tuesday of the month.
It's usually only like a once-a-year meeting, and it's usually by teleconference if it has to.
And who usually does that?
Don was one.
I have to be honest, I've never done it. so-
Don's done it once.
Okay.
So they're-
Somebody be interested in learning about the Air Pollution Control District?
You could give it to me.
Thank you, sir. Casey will do that. And an alternate? Everybody speak up at once.
I think Mr. Kim would be an excellent alternate.
I think he would be too. Thanks, Casey.
That's good.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Westside Healthcare Task Force, and that's been Bob and Nick. I'd like you guys to continue on that, if you would, please. And then the North Simba Creek Flood Control Board, I'll remain on that as well. So you have been duly seated. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, moving right along. We're going to, before, no, I'll wait and do it, council members. I know each of you have family members here as well as I do, so I'll give you a chance to introduce them and get the council member comments. How's that? Does that work? Sure. That work for you guys? You have your spouse here. And
Oh, yeah.
I have family here, and Casey does. So I was going to do that right after you got sworn in, but we just got moving on. So under council comments, we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay? Great. All right. Item 12, items from District 5 Supervisor Jim D. Martini. Jim?
Good evening, Mayor Caton, council members. I just have a few things tonight.
to go over. First of all, the construction work on the Wesley Triangle is finally over. So it's been way behind schedule, but everything is done except the striping. So if you ever go out that way on the Wesley exit there, you'll see a whole new road put in pavers, and it's really looks quite nice. It's a different construction than we've ever used in the past.
Hey, Jim,
So,
why did they decide to use pavers?
well, our Public Works engineer thought that that would take the truck traffic better.
Because that's an awful lot of truck traffic out there.
I mean, it's all trucks in that
Yeah.
area over there, and they just destroyed the road. And they destroyed it to the point where it couldn't be fixed anymore. So we had to remove the entire road,
Yeah, I saw it.
take it down the dirt, and then pour cement, and then put pavers over the top. Now, this is the first project we've ever done like this, but what's said, if the trucks break a paver, each one can be individually replaced. And he thinks that the longevity of the road's going to be quite a bit longer. I know what we had there before just didn't work. And it has enormous truck traffic. Our Public Works Director, according to him, says that one loaded truck has the same impact on the road as 900 cars. And so there's all this truck stop, and of course, we want them to come there and spend some money and buy fuel and everything, too. But the downside of that is that the road has to be able to take that kind of traffic, so this is something new for us. We hope it's successful. That little strip cost $1.5 million to do, so it was a very costly project. So had it not been for the rain and the fog, it would have been striped already, but we can't paint the stripes there when it's wet. So it looks like it's going to be next week, but all the work is done, finally. The other thing of interest is as you all are aware of, the pumps at Crow's Landing have both went out in the past, and so the water got contaminated with bacteria. Pump number 4 is back online now, but the bacteria counts in the water are still there. It's been chlorinated, and now it has to be flushed. And the Community Service District was not able to flush the system because they have to dump the water out in somebody's walnut orchard who doesn't want the water out there. So tomorrow morning, the county is moving in some water trucks from the landfill, and they're going to pump out about 7,000 gallons of water to flush the system out, and then take it to the landfill and just dump the water in the pond there. Hopefully, this is going to solve the problem. After it's flushed, water will be tested again to see if it's got bacteria in it. The chlorine is supposed to take care of it, and then we have to wait 7 days and then test it again, and it can't have any bacteria in it, and then the system, if it passes, would be ready. If it doesn't pass, then we got to start all over again and chlorinate it again and flush the system again. The town has really essentially been without water now for over a month, and although the water is working on a small-scale basis with a submerged pump, you have to boil the water and can't use it for cooking. So hopefully this next week, everything will be back online. It was about $28,000 to fix the pump, and before we could get that fixed, the other pump went down. That's a $50,000 fix, which is, is a lot of money for a little community service district. But that pump, the second pump, will be back online in about 2 weeks, what we're told. As far as the healthcare task force, we're doing the awards for the art contest. I brought about 400 of our calendars this year. They're all really quite good. I've been going around to the school districts and giving out the awards. I was in Newman last week at the school board meeting. We had 4 winners from Newman. I'm going to Gustine on Thursday, and we have 2 winners there. We had about 600 entries this year, so it was quite a chore to judge those and come up with the best of the best. We had a lot of really good stuff. And because we had so many entries this year, the grand prize winner is up to the top, and we have 13 pictures this year instead of 12. So we had so many really great entries.
So it was a really successful a project, and, what we're hoping to instill into the kids is, to eat right and exercise, and hopefully avoid a lot of health problems that'll plague you in older life. And the themes of the the pictures there, eat better and exercise, eat healthy, and so that's the kind of message that we're trying to convey. And so it's this was a really nice calendar. I hope that the city will put one up in City Hall somewhere. If you could distribute these to the library. I've already given them to the school district, and I know that some people have asked for them already, so I have them in the next room for you. We will, the task force will have a small subgroup of the task force meet second week of January as a part of the collective impact training, try and work together with other nonprofits and other groups that are working on similar projects together. And the meeting of the task force itself will be January 22nd, and that will be in Patterson, most likely at the Family Resource Center. And that is a 501c3 nonprofit. Now we're really working on trying to come up with specific projects that we can get grant funding for to better the west side. So that meeting is January 22nd. So anyway, so please take calendar home with you, and that's all I have this evening.
Great. Any questions or comments for Jim? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Okay, we'll go to item 13, items from the city manager.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Couple quick housekeeping items. Our second meeting in December, which is December 23rd, will be canceled for the Christmas break as traditionally done here. Just so the public understands, the City Hall will be closing starting December 25th, and we'll reopen on January 5th. So we'll be closed during that holiday period. We will have people on call in case there's water breaks or other emergencies. Our public safety personnel will always be accessible 24/7 as well. As you know, as we did at the beginning of this meeting, Measure Z did pass, so the city of Newman now has officially an urban growth boundary. It's a 25-year boundary that kind of constrains Newman's growth to match our general plan that we passed in 2007. So I think that's a great item for us, and it's an excellent item as we prepare to do an annexation and we complete a master plan for potential economic development on the northwest quadrant of the community as well. So, Ms. House, our recreation director, is not here tonight, but just so you know, our skate plaza plans are at 98%. We're literally almost done with those. I think just a couple I's to dot, a couple T's to cross, but we would expect it will probably go out to bid in January. The only holdup we have right now is it federal?
Yeah, they haven't sent us our contract.
Yeah, we don't have a contract for one of our grants, and that one of the federal agents that we got from the federal agency, so we can't go out to bid until we get that contract from them. And last we heard that nobody who has received that grant, it was the Land Water.
And Water Conservation
Yeah,
Fund.
Conservation Fund. Nobody who was awarded a grant has gotten their contract yet, so we're ready to go on our side. We're just waiting for another agency to do their part so we can move forward. So hopefully we'll have some movement on that project early spring and have a project for the youth of this community, late spring, early summer. So couple of quick things. At our last meeting, the council picked Councilmember Martina and Councilmember Candia to sit on a aquatic center subcommittee. They met today with your staff. We came together with a game plan that we would like to present to you at the full council in January and get your kind of blessing on how we can proceed forward with a funding opportunity to get an aquatic center and potentially additional recreational opportunities, including the potential for a soccer complex and baseball and softball complex in the community as well. So you can expect that presentation in January. You would give us some guidance. We would wrap that up and then bring it back to your whole for a final vote. So, with that being said, internally, our fire chief, Mr. Mel Souza, has elected that he will be retiring in June of this coming year, in 2015. I don't know why, he's only 74 years old, but, you know. With that being said, though, I'd like to get together with the Public Safety Subcommittee, have some discussions about that position, and then convene a meeting with the subcommittee and West Stanislaus Fire Protection District as well. They would like to do a 2-on-2 with us. Their director and 2 of their board members with us, and have some discussions about that position, and, you know, are there ways to potentially partner together, and how we see that position, how they see that position, because it's a dual position. It serves on both sides. So anyways, maybe after the meeting, we can look at your schedule, your 2 schedules, and then see what works best for you, and then I'll get some dates from them and work forward. So with that being said, we'd also, now that we have 2 members on our 2-on-2 school district, typically it's been the 3rd Tuesday of the month at 4 p.m. I'd like to try to reach out to the school district and try to get that going in January. So please check your calendars. If that's not going to work for you, please let me know. But I'll reach out to the superintendent. I've already reached out to him. Sounds like they may only have 1 member at that one, but I still think I'd like to start the year off and try to get that meeting going.
And Bob sits on that?
Bob and
Casey?
Councilmember Graham, correct.
Okay, good.
You know, Michael, I think it's important that they know the importance of having these meetings. I know that in the past, it's kind of like been a hit and miss proposition. And I think it's really important that we open the lines of communication and keep it flowing, and we haven't done that.
Yeah, during my tenure, we're on our 3rd, actually technically 4th superintendent, but I know Superintendent Foss was very good about meeting on those, at those times, and the last superintendent was not as diligent. I thought it was very fruitful for us, even if we didn't have specific items to discuss, just conversation and flow of information back and forth. I think it just builds a lot of camaraderie.
Yeah.
And sometimes sometimes that conversation just spurs a thought that how we can work together. So,
Especially if we're going to go forward with the possible aquatic center and all that, because I'm sure the school district will have some interest in that.
Correct.
You know, so.
Yeah, it's designed, you know, the original design that dates back a number of years, you know, designs for a high school swim team and a high school diving team. So I believe I touched them all, and I can answer any questions that the council may have for me.
Yeah, Michael, did you want to make any comment about the pending storm? I mean, I know that there's been a lot of chatter going along, and the state has put out some information.
Yeah, there's a heavy storm that's probably due to hit our area late tomorrow. Thursday is going to be a major storm. They're saying 2 to 4 inches just on Thursday alone with high winds. Our Public Works Department has already started preparing sandbags just in case for localized flooding. We don't anticipate anything huge like the North Timber Creek, but we will be monitoring the North Timber Creek not only on the computer, but we will send in staff out there periodically to look at the flows and look at the railroad trestle to make sure that there's no buildup there and those types of things.
You know, we might want to just take a look at that. Now, I don't know if there's any debris that's left over from last year. It might be a good idea to just go out and check it. If there is debris, see if we can just get it out before the storms hit.
Yeah, that's a great idea, and we'll do that tomorrow. So.
Okay.
So with that, but we will have sandbags available at our Public Works Corporation yard starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
So.
It's like, I remember doing a lot of sandbags years ago.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be accompanied with high wind. It's a pretty major storm that's coming in for the next couple of days, so batten down your hatches. It's going to.
Thank you, Michael.
And we need the rain, obviously.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments from Michael, other than that? Thank you. Okay, go to staff. Christine, you want to go first? I know Chief has a lot to say.
So that's fine. That's good. Good to try to be at the first one. There's a couple of items to update. The first one is really good news. In November, the last month, the water reduction rate was reduced by 48%. So that means our our city staff worked really hard and cut the water use by 48%, which is really, really good number. I'm very proud to know and be part of that effort. And as city manager mentioned, the sandbags are available. And just in case any local flooding occur, please contact the city on-call or any phone number, and then there is a 24/7, 24-hour staff available to respond to help our resident.
What is that number offhand, so our staff or our public will know what it is?
Yes, 678-0352.
678-0352.
Yes.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
on-call. So we are ready for good rain this week and next week.
Anything else?
That's all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Just a quick note on our financials. The auditor didn't touch on this, but on our general fund, originally back in June of 2013, we had projected a $426,000 deficit, and through the efforts of our staff from all the departments, we reduced that down to a $120,000 deficit. Our reserves now sit at 70%, which is very good. A recent report on the California Society of Municipal Finance Officers, most cities reported a 25% reserve or lower, and we're sitting at 70. Also, both of our enterprise funds, both water and sewer, experienced a net increase in their net position, which is very positive for us. Our water fund over the last couple of years had been struggling, but it's doing better.
That's good news. Steph?
Good evening. Just wanted to let the council know that staff's been diligently working on a CMAQ application, and we look forward to submitting that to StanCog this week. That's for some additional road amenities here in town. Also, the no soliciting registry application form will be included in this month's utility bill that's going to be sent out here in about a week and a half to give residents an opportunity to register if they'd like for the 2015 registry. It's an annual registry, so I just want to remind the public that you do need to renew that every year. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Questions, comments for Steph? Thank you. Chief?
Good evening, Mayor, council members. Congratulations, first
Thank
off. Quick update on the storm. I would recommend everybody check their fences and gates, that for those of you that have animals, so we don't have a lot of loose dogs and strays out there that we have to deal with over the storm. Quick update on our dispatch project. I provided you guys all with a flow chart of where we're at. We will be completing our records management training tomorrow. It started last week. It was a 6-day project with all the squads coming through, and the evidence portion will be completed tomorrow, and we will be able to go live. Unfortunately, we will not be going live with the complete project tomorrow. We are waiting on DOJ as one component. Getting the state to do anything quickly is awfully difficult. It's past the analysis person, and it's sitting on their desk to go, and I understand once it makes it past that point, it's just basically rubber stamped through the committees, but it has not reached the committees yet. So that will not prevent us from switching over. It'll just prevent us from doing certain aspects of it for the first couple of weeks until they stamp it. The mobile data terminals are being built. 4 of them are completed. We have 4 more to complete with software. The mounts are all in. AT&T, we're waiting for them to connect us to Oakdale for our radio system. So the antenna went up. For those of you that have seen the antennas on the water tower, we're waiting for a connection, and then the radios will be up and live. We're shooting for a target date of the 22nd. As long as everybody and everything is received, we have one piece out in the mail that's supposed to be received later this week and go in on the 15th. If it shows up, then we should be able to meet that deadline on the 22nd. No later than the 31st, though. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Just the one, Chief. Will you be running parallel systems until you're sure that this is zip system's up and going?
We will continue to maintain the Stanislaus County radio system.
Okay.
So if for some reason our radio system fails, we will have communication capability with somebody.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Chief. Okay. I'll go council member comments, and we'll start with Casey first. Welcome, and I want to introduce your family and who you have with you.
Yeah, well, congratulations to you guys, and thank you. Tonight, I have quite a few people here. My wife, Jamie, and then my son, Bryce, and my daughter, Rylan. My mom and dad, Pat and Tom, are here. And then my sister, Christina, and Nick Blom are here with me, with their 3 kids. My nieces and nephews, Annika, Sterling, and Heston. And I have quite a few other family and friends here supporting me. Thank you guys all for coming and supporting me. I appreciate it.
Well, welcome, and thanks for letting Casey join us. Sometimes we tell people, be careful what you ask for. Nick?
Congratulations, Mayor and Casey. And my wife is here tonight, Carrie, and we've been married, we celebrated our 30th wedding anniversary last month.
Where were you last month? Were you playing golf?
No, in Monterey with my wife.
He was playing golf.
Monterey playing golf.
I know he's playing golf. I know he's playing golf at least
Just
one day.
one of the days.
At least one day, I know he's playing golf. I was there with him.
You were playing with him?
So congratulations. And I have my wife, Deanne, my mother-in-law, Leela, also is here from Fresno with us, and she's been spending a week or two with us. So thanks for being here with us, and I appreciate you being here tonight. So, and congratulations, Nick and Casey. Okay, so we'll go with Bob next.
Yeah, I'd just like to congratulate you, the mayor.
Thank you.
and Dick and Casey, and look forward to working with everyone again. And Roberta, we'll continue to keep an eye on these guys. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. Roberta, anything to say?
Yes, I have a question for the city manager about the tree trimming. We started talking about this in May, and where is it? What's happened so far?
I'd have to defer to the Public Works Director right now in terms of tree trimming in the older part of town.
The dead limbs.
You mean the downtown areas?
Yes, the downtown area.
There are at least 1,000 trees in this town that have dead limbs. And when the wind blows hard, those limbs fall down and hurt people or property.
So our staff is checking all the trees, especially along the Sherman Ditch at this point, because there's a major concern regarding the clogging. Otherwise, there's a lot of flooding occur in the areas. And also, we are redeveloping some kind of survey program to survey all the trees, which one should be removed, which one should be remaining, especially for targeted areas. So we are going to conduct some additional effort, the survey to check the downtown area again.
But these limbs we've been looking at them and talking about them since May. There are dead limbs on most trees in the older parts of this town. And there's a safety hazard.
Council, I was assured by my Public Works Superintendent that project was going to occur in October, and he told me that they got onto it. Let me just double check with him. I will send the full council a email report on Thursday. I'm going to be tied up tomorrow. I'll send you a full email report on the progress of it, and if anything's been held back, why it was held back.
That'd be good. Yeah, just update, especially with the storm coming up, so any trees that need to be trimmed, cut back, that'd be great. So if you send us an email, that'd be great.
Yeah, but I think that Councilmember Davis is just concerned. She's been talking about this for a long time, and my staff assured me that it was going to be done. I didn't follow up. I will definitely follow up with my staff. Last time I talked to them, they were in the process of it. I don't know if they got diverted away from that, but I will follow up with the full council in an email on Thursday, letting you know if there was a holdup, what it was. If you have any specific areas or blocks that are the biggest concerns for you as a council member, please let us know which ones those are, and we'll make sure that those get in there. I understand the concern for Councilmember Davis is basically in the older part of town, which is Inyo to Yolo, Main Street to T Street. And there's some older sycamore trees out there that she's been expressing concern to me on. So I will follow up with you in an email and make sure that our council member gets, or our superintendent gets me the answers on those that you desire.
Great. Thanks, Michael. I just have a couple things for everybody who attended the tree lighting last Saturday. It was a great event, as it always is. Downtown looks great. I'd just like to thank Michael and your staff for pulling off the recognition for former Mayor Jim Silvera. His family was very, very, very pleased. So I'm glad you were able to get that plaque installed and completed, and they did a nice job. And I'd like to thank Perfecto and Kassoon for getting the light up and the sound system and making sure that the lights on the trees went off as the switches were flipped. I think everybody had a great time. I think the unveiling went off without a hitch. It was perfect. The weather was perfect, we had no rain, no wind, it was a great evening. I think, again, the recognition for Jim was long overdue, and I think those of us who knew him and the efforts he put forward in our city can appreciate that. So again, I'd just like to thank the entire city staff and Michael for pulling that off. I think the family was shocked at the plaque, just as nice as it turned out. They were just very, very pleased, and so thank the council for supporting that action, getting that done, and Jim will be forever remembered for all the work he's done in our community.
And Mayor, just so the council knows, Ms. Ocasio did a lot of the work on the plaque. She should be accommodated for that.
Why am I not surprised?
She tracked it down and did a lot
Thanks,
of
Stephanie. You
things.
did a great job, too. I mean, it was, I think, beyond what they expected. They had no idea what it was. They knew something was up. But when it was finally fully unveiled, they were just really taken aback about how nice it turned out. And so the family was very, very appreciative of the city's effort to get that done. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, if there's nothing else for the good of the order, motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Anybody want to stay? Good night. Thank you.